Welcome back, quick reader. So how is your reading? It is what? It is super quick. And isn't it getting there? You're starting to see improvement. Either way, you're right, because it's mind over what? It's mind over matter. It's not you'll believe it when you see it, you'll start seeing it as you start believing it. And that's why I'm giving you these techniques. In this session, another technique that's going to boost your reading speed, another 25%. Isn't that exciting? Across the board, we see about 25% growth. But just as a quick review, we're reading, maybe a mouse on a computer, we'll talk about lack of education, lack of focus, and what? Regression and back skipping. Because it gives you the education, it gives you better focus, and also you're not likely to unlearning bad habits that we learned when we were a child. So this is very exciting. So what we're going to do is I want you to grab your book right now. Remember, this is interactive, so you need to do this. Just listening to my words and listening is not going to get you the result. You need to get an experience of it. Because there's a Chinese proverb that goes, what I hear I forget, what I see I remember, what I stand. It could shave up to 25% or more on your reading time. I mean, isn't that incredible? We're saving you vision, that when you're looking forward, you could see something to the left and to the right. Now, when we're going into quick reading, when slow readers, very slow readers, and think about children when they're first starting out, they tend to see the letters of a word, right? They see the individual letters. Normal readers, they see word for word for word. But trained readers, quick readers, tend to see groups of words together. So it's less taxing. Because poor readers who are just looking at letters, starting out, beginner read word like carpet, they have to look at all the letters sounded out and create the word. Or normal readers, if you will, read word for word for word. But the challenge going word for word for word is it takes time. But the quicker readers, instead of going through and making 20 different stops or 10 different stops for 10 different words, they actually just make 3 stops. And all of a sudden your eyes aren't as taxed, you have more energy, you're not frustrated. When it comes to your peripheral vision, we're going to go deeper in future sessions with you, but right now let's keep it very fundamental basic. What I mean by utilizing your peripheral vision is this. So far when you're reading with a visual pacer, you're going to go all the way to the right to see that last word. The truth is you don't. Instead of using your finger going all the way to the left, all the way to the right, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, what I want you to do is actually go to the right, but don't go all the way to the end. Stop at about 1 inch to the end because your peripheral vision will still pick up those remaining words. And then when you come back to the left, don't go all the way back to the left margin, go about indent about 1 inch inside and you'll still pick up those beginning words. So what you're doing fundamentally is you're moving your finger left to right, left to right, left to right, but the margins are actually moved in closer together. So it takes less what? It takes covering about 25% of that real estate on that page. So here's where we're going to end of the margins to the left and to the right. I want you to right so you don't have to take the time going all the way to the ends. Fun. Remember the power of play, that you stop playing because you just like get curious, like, you know, this is kind of, you're going indenting about 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters on both sides. Practice this now for 3 minutes. Begin now. Okay, welcome back, quick readers. How did that feel for you? How did it feel? Do you feel like you're going through the information a little bit quicker? Well, let's test it, because and we're going to do our 2 margins. Your book is getting a little bit marked up, but that's a good thing because it's being used. It's not sitting on the shelf and just looking good for yourself, right? Put a mark in the margin where you left off. We're going to time you for 2 minutes exactly. Countdown timer will go on at the end of 2 minutes, but this time the only difference is you're reading within the indentation. Go 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters approximately on the left and the right, and practice using your finger. And remember, comprehension is starting to, you can start focusing a little bit. Ready? Begin. Okay, and stop. How did we do? Let's count the number of lines together if you haven't done it already. Count the number of lines, divide it by what? 2, because we read for 2 minutes, so now you know your lines per minute, and then multiply by the average number of words that you have for this reading material per line. You have a new number, and it looks like this number is growing. So as your homework, what I want you to do is 10 minutes of reading today. 10 minutes, commit to 10 minutes of reading this way, using your finger, but indent it left and right. Do that for 10 minutes, and I'll see you in tomorrow's lesson.